you watching this, sitting on your lounge holding that beautiful Wolf Adventure box? Have you ever been lost in the forest? I bet you have. If you learned how to use one of these compasses, you would never be lost again. So join me on the Find Your Way Wolf Adventure. Hello, my name is Ian. I am an Arrow Light Scout, Pack 802 in Aberdeen, Maryland, which is part of Hertford District, Baltimore Area Council. Today we are working on Find Your Way, which is on page 208 of your Wolf Handbook. This adventure is designed to teach you how to use a map and a compass. In your Wolf Adventure box, you will receive a cool baseplate compass, just like this one. We will also discuss how to use a map and how to locate your home on a map. You'll also have a chance to draw your own map to show your friends a place that's cool. Finally, I am going to show you how to use this compass so you can do your own scavenger hunt and hikes. I do not want you, yes you, to ever be lost again. So what are you waiting for? Let's get started!
Before we get started, let's review the requirements for the Finding Your Way adventure. Scouts must complete all 4 of the following requirements in order to earn the Finding Your Way adventure. 1. Using a map of your city or town, locate where you live. Additionally, draw a map for a friend so he or she can locate your home, a park, a school, or other locations in your neighborhood. Use symbols to show parks, buildings, trees, and water. You can invent your own symbols. Be sure to include a key so your symbols can be identified. 2. Do the following. Identify what a compass rose is and where it is on the map. Use a compass to identify which direction is north. Show how to determine which way is south, east, and west. 3. Go on a scavenger hunt using a compass and locate an object with a compass. And 4. Using a map and compass, go on a hike or walk with your den or family.
In your Wolf Adventure box, you will find the silver compass. Let's unbox the compass and see what's inside. Get some help from an adult to cut the package open with scissors, like this. Let's see what's inside. Our compass came with a red lanyard. It looks like we attach it right here. Let's do a basic overview of our compass. This is a base plate styled compass. This part is the base plate. This black arrow at the front of the base plate is the direction of go. We will be referring to this as the dog. While using the compass, we will point the dog in the direction we would like to go. The round part of the compass is the dial. We can rotate this to set the direction we would like to travel. For example, if you wanted to go north, you would turn the dial so that the letter N is facing the dog. The next part of the compass we are going to talk about is the shed. You'll notice when you rotate the dial, the shed moves with the dial. The next part of the compass we will be talking about is the needle. The red part of the needle is always pointing to magnetic north. Now let's put it all together and learn how to point the compass where we want to go. You start by holding the compass flat in front of us. Turn the dial so that the direction you want to go is pointing toward the dog. In order to point our compass north, like we've set on the dial, we rotate our entire compass and our entire body until the red needle is inside of the red shed. Now our direction of go is pointing north.
For requirement 2, located on page 213 of your Wolf Handbook, we will identify what a compass rose is and where it is on a map.
Before we get out to use our compass, let's get familiar with a map. Most maps have a compass rose. The compass rose tells us what direction on the map is north. Magnetic north on this map is shown by these vertical blue lines. This means that the top of the map is north, the bottom of the map is south, the side of the map is east, and the other side of the map is west. If you don't remember directions, you can use this phrase: never eat soggy waffles.
For requirement 3, you will go on a scavenger hunt using a compass and locate an object with a compass. If you would like a list of pre-made scavenger hunts that you can do in our area, please do a web search for orienteering in Maryland. There are a couple of resources that may be very helpful. For example, the Delaware Valley Orienteering Association has multiple courses that are within about a 45-minute drive of Harford County. Additionally, the QUANTICO Orienteering Club has additional courses in southern and western Maryland. Each year, the QUANTICO Orienteering Club typically hosts an orienteering event at Broad Creek Scout Reservation.
Next, we are going to be talking about pace counting. You will be needing a tape measure for this step. If you have a longer tape measure, that would be a lot easier. But you can do it with the small tape measure too, like this 25. You just need to do a little bit of extra math. Now that we've measured 100 feet, let's walk and see how many steps it takes. Remember to take normal sized steps just like you would if you were hiking. 1, 3, 4, 5, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It took me exactly 25 normal steps to walk 100 feet. If you're shorter than me, it would probably take you more steps. If you were taller than me, it would probably take you fewer steps. In order to use a mapping compass correctly, you need to know how many steps it takes for you to walk 100 feet. We can use simple math to calculate how many steps it will take to walk more feet. For example, it would take me 100 steps to walk 400 feet. Now let's put it all together so you can use your compass to find your way on a scavenger hunt or a hike. For example, let's pretend like we're on a scavenger hunt and we need to walk 50 feet to the north. The first step is to hold your compass flat out in front of your body. Next, you turn the dial so north is facing our dog. The next step is you have to turn the compass so that the red needle is in the red shed. Your compass should look like this. Finally, look up and see if you can find a reference point in the direction you are going. For example, there is a small tree directly to my north. And now I don't need my compass because I already have a landmark in the direction I need to be going. I know to walk 50 feet, it's going to take me 12 and a half steps, half of what I walked a few minutes ago. Now let's walk 12 and a half steps, remembering to walk normal size steps. I've reached the destination for my scavenger hunt. Now that you know how to use a compass, you can go on your own scavenger hunts or hikes.
For requirement 1, part A, we will use a map of your city or town to locate where you live. If a scout has completed his or her cyber chip, you may use the internet and sources such as Google Maps to do a web search for a map of your city, town, and find out where you live. To complete a web search, go to google.com/maps and enter your home address into the search bar. For this demonstration, I'll be doing a search for Broad Creek Memorial Scout Reservation located in the Baltimore Area Council in northern Harford County. As you can see, I can view the map for the area around Broad Creek. If I'd like to see some detail, I can change the layer view to satellite imagery by selecting this box in the bottom left-hand corner. I can change the resolution of my view by zooming in or out on my mouse. I can also pan the map around to view different areas of interest. This section of camp is Camp Oast. I recognize where the road crosses the dam on Lake Strauss. This section up the hill must be Camp Saffron. There's the swimming pool. I can't wait to see all the renovations that they've just made at camp this year. Use a resource like Google Maps to look up your home address and see what the map looks like near your home. For Requirement 1, Part B, we'll be showing you how to draw a map for your friend so that he or she can locate your home, a park, a school, or other locations in your neighborhood. For this example, we will draw a map that shows how to navigate from Aberdeen, Maryland to Broad Creek Scout Reservation in northern Harford County. To do this, I'm going to first look at Google Maps to see what the key areas of our route are to get there. I want to focus on the major roads that we'll have to travel. So from Aberdeen to Churchville, it looks like we'll be on Route 22. And then from Churchville to Dublin, it will be on Route 136. I want to point out on my map that I draw for my friend any key visual references that we can use to help them navigate. I know at the intersection of Route 1 and 136, there's 2 gas stations, both a Wawa and a Royal Farms. So I think I'll include those references on my map. I also know that there's a sign for Broad Creek on Peach Orchard Road. So I'll point that out before they need to make this turn. I think it'll be pretty simple to draw my map because I won't be too worried about making it perfectly to scale. But as long as I point out the major roads and these points of interest, my friend will be able to find his or her way. Alright guys, you'll need to bear with me while I draw this extremely crude map. So to get started, I'm going to make a reference point for our start location. And then, as discussed, the primary road to get from Aberdeen to Churchville is Route 22. So I'm going to include that on the map here. I'm not worried about the scale or exact proportion, but it gets the job done. Next, I know completely north-south on our map is Route 136, or at least it's pretty close to running northbound. So I've got a straight line going up, and then I'm going to show where it crosses Route 1. As discussed when we looked at the Google Maps, I know there's 2 good points of reference where there's those 2 gas stations. So I'll include some special symbols for gas station on my map. And then finally, we're going to turn on Peach Orchard Road to get to Broad Creek. So I'll draw that road. And then we'll put a special symbol for our end location at Broad Creek. Now I'm going to detail or label my map by adding a key back in the corner. So I'll label it as key and add the 3 symbols that I used. The start, the end, And my third symbol, the gas station. And I didn't make a symbol for this, but let's point out where there's a sign. That way my friend will know where to turn. And we're going to finish the map by adding a little bit more detail. So we'll put a title on the map. And we'll label our starting town of Aberdeen. And for our final step, I'm going to point out where we transition from Route 22 to Route 136 in the town of Churchville. And that should do it. I think this map is detailed enough to get my friend from Aberdeen to Broad Creek. So there's probably some other things I should have added. Now that you guys know about a compass rose, that's a good addition to a map. But feel free to draw your own map to a point of interest so your friend can navigate there.
Thank you for sticking with me on one of my first ever videos. I hope you had fun learning how to use a map and a compass. If you completed everything we've talked about, then congratulations, because you have earned the Finding Your Way Wolf Belt Loop. If you have any questions about the adventure, you can send an email to this address.